where it may be 0 or 2.10 or 2.6, any number. If you have the fractional part, then it can be called as floating numbers. Which are the arithmetic operations? Plus, multiplication, division, mode. These are the arithmetic operators. When we come on SQL operators, we have arithmetic operator, comparison operator, as well as logical operators. When we say the result is pass, when each and every subject scored greater than 35, then only I used to say it as pass. Welcome back to one and all. Myself, Vasanta, lecturer in Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Today, we are going to start with the second session of SQL commands. Whereas in the previous class, you have studied regarding what do you mean by SQL, that is as a structured query language used to create, manipulate, update the contents in the database. Then, the features of SQL. Under that, what are the main features, main advantages of using SQL? Then with that, you have studied regarding SQL commands. Especially under SQL commands, you have studied DDL commands, DML commands, TCL commands, DQL commands. Under that, DDL command stands for Data Definition Language, helps to create a table with heading, subheadings, which data type it is. Whereas DML, that is Data Manipulation Language. This Data Manipulation Language helps to manipulate or insert or arrange the elements in the database. Regarding that is different types of commands you have studied in the previous class. Now, you will study which are the data types used in SQL. Then, SQL operators, under that arithmetic operator, comparison operator, as well as logical operator. Regarding that, today you will come to know. Then, before starting, what do you mean by data type? Consider you have one table. Here I am to take student table only. On this student table, we have the attributes like student ID, name, marks, then date of birth. Like that, consider various attributes. Here we have the values can be inserted on this table, is it no? Whereas by using DDL commands, I can have to create which is the table, which are the attributes, which data type it is, I told you. Then what do you mean by this data type? Data type helps to represent what type or which type of value we are inserting. Whether it is a number format or character format or a string format or a date format or time format, which format we can able to insert the records, values in the table. Regarding that, mainly in data types we are using. Data types will tell you which type of value we are inserting in the table. Then when you come on DQL operators, there we have arithmetic operator, comparison operator, as well as logical operator. Now, one by one we'll discuss regarding the data types used in SQL. Which are the data types? Under that, the first one you have numerical data type. Then what do you mean by numerical data type? For example, in the same table I'm going to take student only. On this student, I have to enter some values like ID, name, then for example marks, then marks 2, then average. Consider these are the attributes I want to insert on the table. Then whereas numeric data type helps to insert the numeric data values. Then what do you mean by numeric and float or integer or float? For example, if I am going to write 2, that is the integer value, numeric value. 2.0. Then it can be float value. After point, if you have any values, then it can be called as float value. Where it may be 0 or 2.10 or 2.6, any number. If you have the fractional part, then it can be called as floating numbers. Integer means without having any fractional parts. For example, 3, 10, 100, 1000, all are integer values only. If you have the fractional part, for example, 3 point any number, where it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, anything, then it can be called as float. Now, is it clear? Then there is a difference between integer as well as float. That means, if you have fractional part, then it can be called as float. Then you have the characters as well as string also. Then what is the difference between character and string? For example, if I am going to write only one character, then it is opened as well as closed by single quotes. If I want, I can able to insert characters also. If I want, I can able to insert string also. Then what do you mean by string? Collection of characters, N-A-M-E. It can be called as string. It is opened as well as closed by double quotes. Now, which are the data types, values we can able to insert in the table? Regarding that, the data type will deals here. Then under that, the numeric data type helps to input a number with maximum of 3 digits. Maximum, I can able to enter 3 digits here. I can able to insert the value. For example, marks. Maximum 100, not more than 100. Is it no? For example, I can give 3 digits. Or if I want, I can give 2 digits. If I want, I can give only 1 digit. Okay, like that, here I can able to enter the numeric values also. Then floating point numeric data type also I can able to enter. That means, already I told you, if I have the values after point, then it can be called as floating values. Fractional part if you have, then it can be called as floating point numeric data type. For example, average I want to take. One is 100 and one more is 99. Then what is the average? 99.5. On that time, we have to represent floating point numbers. Then the next one, date data type. For example, if I want to enter date of birth, one more column here I am going to take date of birth. Then there I have to enter the date of birth. Is it no? First, in some cases, we'll enter date, then month, then year. Which type of values we are entering? That is, date data type is one of the data type used in SQL. Next, time data type. Sometimes we have to enter the time also. On that case, we are using time data type. Example, time 12:30 p.m. Now is it clear? If I am going to take varchar is also one of the data type here we are using. Varchar 2. It is also one of the data type. But here, what I can able to represent, I can able to insert variables as well as character. Both variable as well as character. That's why here I have written varchar 2. This is also one of the data type. Next one, character data type. Under character data type, char size. Only when you want to enter the character. On that time we use, right, char size. For example, char 25 if I am going to write, then maximum 25 characters I can able to insert here. Then varchar 2 if I am going to write, then both variables as well as numbers I can able to insert. For example, student ID. There I am going to write A101. It is a combination of numbers as well as character. Then we are using varchar 2. That means I can able to enter both numbers as well as character. Then inside the bracket you have to mention the size. How many characters, how many numbers maximum you can able to enter. Whereas here varchar 225 if I am going to write maximum 25 characters on this place I can able to insert here. Now is it clear? These are the few data types used in SQL. Now is it clear for all of you? Next we will move on SQL operators. When we come on SQL operators, we have arithmetic operator, comparison operator as well as logical operators. There are 3 types under SQL operators. In the exam, you may going to get the question, explain arithmetic operator for 5 marks. In the same way, explain comparison operator in SQL for 5 marks. In the same way, explain logical operators used in SQL for 5 marks. Each one you may going to get for 5 marks. This is very important. Whereas in the previous class, you have studied DDL commands for 5 marks, DML commands for 5 marks, as well as features of SQL, they are also 5 marks. Whereas here, all the operators you may going to get for 5 marks. Arithmetic, comparison as well as logical. Now, one by one we'll discuss. First, we'll discuss about arithmetic operator. Then, what do you mean by this arithmetic operator? Already I told you arithmetic operations. Which are the arithmetic operations? Plus, multiplication, division, mode. These are the arithmetic operator. Then what exactly the exam you to write? First operator. Then what do you mean by operator and then operand? For example, if you have A plus B, then this plus can be called as operator. Okay. Then the variable that is A and B can be called it as operands. Then what do you mean by arithmetic operator? It is a symbol. Operators is a symbol. It will perform specific task. Under that we have plus, minus, multiplication, division and mode. These are the few arithmetic operators in the SQL we are using. Whereas plus operation helps to perform addition of two numbers. Subtraction operation helps to perform subtraction, the difference between two numbers. And multiplication operation, then division operation, and the last one is modulus operation. These are the few arithmetic operators used in SQL. That will show with one example. Consider we have A equals 10 as well as B equals 20. Then when I perform A plus B, that is 10 plus 20, then I am going to get the result is 30 here. Okay. Then in the same way, A minus B, A is 10, B is 20, then the result minus 10 here we are getting. In the same way, A into B, that is 10 into 20, if I am going to perform, then 200 here I am getting. Then A divide B, then how here it will perform? See, here we have 20 and here we have 10. Then here 2 is 20, remainder is 0. Then this I can able to perform here. A divided by 2. Then the result is 2 here. That is division. Then what do you mean by modulus? Modulus is nothing but the remainder. The remainder can be called as modulus here. Observe here, A equals 10, B equals 20 are given. Then A modulus B equals 0. How here? When I am divide this 20 by 10, then the remainder here I am getting 0. That is nothing but modulus. Now is it clear? These are the few arithmetic operators used in SQL. That is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and mod. In the exam also, if you write this table, then it is enough. Only thing, which are the operators, what exactly it will perform, that is description, then example, if you write, that is enough in the exam. Now is it clear? Next, we will discuss about comparison operation or comparison operator. Then what do you mean by comparison? Comparison between any two variables. ಈಗ ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್ ಇಬ್ಬರ ನಡುವೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಇಬ್ರು ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಒಬ್ರಿಗಿಂತ ಒಬ್ರು ಉದ್ದ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಒಬ್ರಿಗಿಂತ ಒಬ್ರು ಕುಳ್ಳ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಬ್ರು ಒಂದೇ ಸಮ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಒಬ್ರಿಗಿಂತ ಒಬ್ರು ದಪ್ಪ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಒಬ್ರಿಗಿಂತ ಒಬ್ರು ಸಣ್ಣ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಕಂಪೇರಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಟೂ ಪರ್ಸನ್. ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ equals to, not equals to, greater than, less than, greater than or equals to, less than or equals to, not less than, not greater than. These are the few comparison operators. Then what do you mean by exactly the first one, equals operator? This equals operator, here we used to write both are equals. Both are equals. While writing the program, sometimes we used to write A equals B and A double equals to B. Whereas A equals to B, if I am going to write, on that case, the right side value will move to left side. That is, it is assignment. Then if you have A double equals to B, then it can be called as relational or comparison operator. Here, there is no any movement will occur. Both right side value is same as left side value. Whereas here, equals, then consider I am having A equals 10, then it will display A equals to B. Both the values are same here. That is the first one. Not equals, that is A is not equals to B. Not equals to, then greater than, A is greater than B. Okay, next, in the same way, less than, lesser than, A is less than B. Some of you still will get confused which is a greater symbol and which is a lesser symbol. If you use it right hand, then it is a greater than symbol. If you use it left hand, then it is a less than symbol. Whereas here I am using right hand side. Right hand, then it is a greater than symbol. If you use it so left hand, then it is a less than symbol. Then greater than or equals to, then how to write that? That is A is greater than or equals to B. Like this we will write. In the same way, that is less than or equals to. How to write this? A is less than or equals to B. In the same way, here not less than. Not less than, A is not less than B. This is also one of the comparison operator. And the next one is not greater than. A is not greater than B. These are the few comparison operator. I can say it as a relational operators also. Relation between two variables, relation between two values. These are the few comparison operators in SQL we are using. Now is it clear? Next, we will move on. logical operator. Already I told you, arithmetic operator, there also for 5 marks. Comparison operator, you may go to get for 5 marks. In the same way, logical operators also for 5 marks. Then, what do you mean by logical? Logically analyzing between two variables, where it may be and, or, not, in between, less than, greater than, all come under comparison. Whereas here, first one by one we'll discuss. The first one, all operator. This or operator, the name itself suggesting all, everything, each and everything, all has to be satisfied. Compare a value to all variables in another set. This set as well as this set, everything has to be satisfied, all. The next one, and operator. And means this and this. ಈಗ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮತ್ತು everything has to be satisfied. On that time we are using and operate. For example, when we say the result is pass, when each and every subject scored greater than 35, then only I used to say it as pass. Is it no? Then if first subject is greater than or equals to 35 and second subject is greater than or equals to 35 and third subject is greater than or equals to 35, then only the result is pass. One more example I am going to tell you. For example, first subject is greater than equals to 100. Second subject is also equals to 100. But third subject is less than 30. Then can we say it is a pass? No, because here we are using and operation. And means this and this, each and everything has to be satisfied. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ and ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ and operator ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Each and everything has to be satisfied. All the existing of multiple condition in an SQL statement where class has to be satisfied here. And next one, any one here it has to be satisfied, like use it to compare a value to any applicable value in the list according to the condition. Any one it has to be satisfied. Anything in the list it has to be satisfied. Between, the next logical operator is between. Between is used to identify the values within the limited range. That means it is used to search for a value that are within a set of values or given maximum and minimum values. I want to select the employee's name whose salary in between 10,000 to 20,000. Then I am using this between. Here I am selecting only the employee's name whose salary is in between 10 to 20,000. Then exist. It is used to search for presence of a row in a specified table that meets certain criteria. This is exist, whether that criteria is exist in the list or not. Then in, this is also one of the logical operator. It is used to compare a value to a list of literals values that have been specified. Here in, it is used to compare whether it is in or not. Then like, here also for comparison only we are using it, compare a value to similar value using wildcard operators. It is like that only on same format where comparing the same first set is same as second set is like that only. On that time we are using the like operator. Then not operator. Not, already I told you, it's a reverse of input. If I am going to say pass, then output is fail. If I am going to say the input is fail, then output is pass. It's just a reverse of input operation. Here it just reverse the meaning of the logical operator with which it is used. If I am going to say the input is 1, output is 0. If I am going to say input is 0, then output is 1. It's a reverse of input operation. That is not. And the OR operator combines multiple conditions in an SQL. Or in generally or idu athava anta heluvaga, then we are using OR operator. First one condition or second one or third one. If any one of the conditions satisfied, then output become true here. OR operation. And the next one is null operator. This is used to compare a value with null values. Already I told you in database, the register number cannot be null. I told you, is it no? Andre, primary value yaude karanakku null agirbardu. There must and should be able to enter some values. There is null that we can able to check here. Whether that particular column, is it a null or not? That also we can able to check under this logical operator. The next one is unique. searches and every row of a specified table for uniqueness. To avoid duplications, we using this unique value. Already I told. Then what do you mean by unique value? I given in the previous class, the example is name as well as register number. The name cannot be called as unique value or the primary key because there is a probability of repeating the name. But when I am going to consider the register number, that register number will never repeat for anybody, no. On that time, I can consider the register number is a primary key. It's a unique value that will never repeat. It cannot be duplicated for any reason. That can be called as unique value. These are the few logical operators in SQL we are used. One by one, once again I will discuss. That is, when you come on data types, this represents which are the types of values we are used while entering in the table. That is numeric, floating, date data type, time data type, character data type. Then next, when you come on operator, arithmetic, comparison and logical. Arithmetics are plus, minus, multiplication, division and mode. That plus can be called as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and mode. These are the few arithmetic operators. Next, when you come on comparison operator, equals to, not equals, greater than, less than, greater than or equals to, lesser than or equals to, not less than, not greater than. These are the few comparison operators. Next, these are the few logical operators like or, everything has to be satisfied, and here also everything has to be satisfied. Any one it has to be satisfied between. The list is in between the range exists, whether the condition is exist in the list or not, in the data is there in that list or not, like both the values has to be satisfied in the same way. Not, it is opposite of your input data, or only one has to be satisfied, then also the result will be true here, or this or this. Then is null. While entering the value, we have to check whether it is a null value or not. We are not supposed to enter any null values. In the primary key, compulsory we have to enter some values, some unique value. That is null, use it to compare a value with null values. Then unique, search for unique value. We are not supposed to enter the same type of values. There must and should be, we have to avoid the duplication. These are the few logical operators. Which are the major concepts you have studied? Data types as well as the SQL operators. Under that, comparison, logical as well as arithmetic operator. Next class, we will meet with the new concept of the same chapter. Thank you for all of you.